He giving me leave? What? I'm sorry, Bunny. I think it's time I was honest. Hi everyone, my name is BunniiMxrie, and today we're playing Mushroom Oasis. I think I read a little bit that we kind of lose our cat and we kind of run into someone. This game is on itch.io if you would like to play. The link is down below. Let's start. So in the beginning, it asked me for my name, put my name. It asked me for one of my cats. I have two cats, one Lizzie and the other one's Noah. So I just put Noah. It starts with Noah has been missing for a while. He was an indoor cat. That sounds like Noah. He was an indoor cat but had the tendency of a wildcat on a mission trying to leave whenever the door was open. Okay, not necessarily when the door opens. When I open the door, I'm already talking. When I open the door, he'll look, but he won't dart out, you know? Cautious in playtime just wasn't enough for the little mister. I figured he'd come running if I left out some food by the porch. 3 days later, still no cats. I tried everything I could think of. Asking around the neighborhood, put up missing cat posters. Sadly, nothing came from my efforts. I couldn't search for him during the day since I had work keeping me occupied. And there's only so many hours in the evening I could yell around the streets looking for him. There was only one place left I could think of that he might have run off to. The woods, by my house, right across the street. I've definitely caught him eyeing the birds and squirrels that run alongside the perimeters from the front window, his teeth clicking in excitement. I was no outdoorsy person by any means. In fact, the thought of going in there scares me. But I had to find him, or at least try. The first weekend that came around, I packed up some water, Noah's favorite treats, and a compass to be safe. I wasn't sure where to even begin looking for him, so I started walking in a straight line, calling out his name every few steps. It certainly didn't take long for me to realize I was way in over my head. Why did I think this was a good idea? It was hard to find my bearings with the surrounding trees. I didn't want to admit I was lost, at least not yet. I could only squint down at my compass as the needle spun slowly. Pretty sure they weren't made to do that. Did I really bring a busted compass on my first venture out in the woods? Figured that would just be my luck. The only thing risking my safety was my own incompetence. I shook my head hastily. No. No time for negativity. Noah was out there somewhere, cold and lost and hungry. I had to keep going. Ugh. It's been hours. I'm so lost. I don't even know why I keep searching even after the moment I'd realized that. Why did I think this was a good idea? Hunger had been gnawing at my stomach for a while now, having missed breakfast and lunch altogether. The heat and humidity from the afternoon sun was unbearable, but the cooling air did nothing to soothe me. Even if I were to head home, I couldn't even pinpoint where that was. What do people even do in this situation? I knew it was baseless optimism, but walking onward was really the only thing I could think of to do. Surely I'll come across something familiar. I trudged on, my shoes carefully avoiding the tree roots intertwined across the forest floor. But in my weakened state, plus the approaching darkness, I found myself stumbling through the rough terrain. My feet... sorry, that sound just caught me off guard. My feet hit something soft jutting out of the ground. Ah! My hands shot out as I lost my balance. My feet clumsily tried to find purchase as I wobbled backwards, arms flapping. Poof! What? My shoe had landed smack dab in a circle of mushrooms, the brunt of it causing a wispy cloud to erupt from the cluster. I stuck my nose in my elbow to avoid breathing it in. I couldn't differentiate. Yep, I know that word. One tree left from another for the life of me, but I'm pretty sure humans aren't supposed to inhale whatever the hell this was. It smelled strongly of rotten wood or wet dirt, even as it cleared. Something shiny quickly caught my attention. I stooped down to pick it up, gasping under my breath. It was Noah's collar! Covered in whatever the hell those mushrooms released. I looked around desperately for any signs of him. Noah! Noah! I coughed from inhaling some of the remaining dust floating in the air. I should really steer clear from this. Pocketing Noah's collar, I retreated carefully until I could breathe again. Stepping back, I could still smell it. It must have been stuck to my hair or clothes. and close. A quick once over confirmed my suspicion with a slight cringe. A thin yet generous coating of it covered my sleeves and jeans. I leaned against a tree, dusting off my clothes in a naive attempt to get the dust and smell out, to no avail. If anything, it felt like I'm breathing more of it in. What used to be musty now turned sweet, and I found myself inhaling even deeper, trying to pinpoint the smell. Cucumbers? It smelled like fresh cucumbers. A tingling feeling crept up my neck, my hands and neck, pinpricks spreading across my limbs as a strange heat reached my face. What? Why is it purple? I started to feel drunk and woozy. My senses were numb. It should freak me out. And yet, a strange comfort washed over me. I should lie down. Right now, in fact. My legs gave out from underneath me, my body toppling over at an awkward angle. I lay there and stared and stared and stared. It was nice here. A peaceful, calm, the perfect place for a nap, even. My eyes grew heavy as I swam in and out of consciousness. Yeah, a nap sounds really good right about now. Yep. Oh, lots of critters passing through lately. Sorry this happened to you, little one. She scared Jesus out of me. Oh? It could have been anyone, but it had to be you. Huh? Wait, a human? How'd you end up all the way out here? Still breathing, too. Ah, geez, I can't leave you here. What should I do? Okay. I woke with a jolt. It was warm, but comfortably so. I could feel the weight of a blanket on me as I tried to sit up. I couldn't move my body. My fingers twitched
Sensational.
Don't say I can't read, because my brain be moving way faster than my mouth, okay? My fingers twitched uselessly at my sides as my eyes darted around in panic. Glancing about, I could see the interior of a cabin, or at least the ceiling of one. I couldn't see much past the corner of my eyes. Where was I? How did I get here? A desperate feeling rose in my chest. I had to leave. Right now. This was wrong. I wasn't meant to be here. I could hear the crack. Oh. I could hear the crackling of a fire nearby, likely the source of warmth I had felt on waking up. I could also hear footsteps approaching. Pretend to be asleep! I shut my eyes quickly, hoping that they hadn't noticed. I slowed down my breathing, willingly my face muscles to stay still. From beside me, someone chuckled softly. I already know you're awake, Firefly. Come on now. I'm not gonna hurt you. Ooh! Who is that? I fluttered my eyelids, straining to look at the person approaching. My eyes widened as I take in their appearance, the protrusions from their forehead catching my attention. Not to mention the green skin. The stranger didn't sense my unease as they heaved a sigh of relief. You're awake. That's good. Very, very good. How are you feeling? I blinked. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Here. What? He giving me lean? The person held a cup to my lips, a strong sweet smell coming from the rim. A gentle hand grabbed my chin to open my mouth. I couldn't even move to resist. Don't worry, it'll help you feel better, I promise. Drink up. As the liquid hit my tongue, all I could feel was a vague sense of heat. It scared me. As I kept drinking, taste and texture returned, the sweetness of berries and chamomile coating my taste buds. I can even detect a hint of mint. I lifted my head finally, hands fisting at my sides as I propped myself onto my elbows. The person kept a steady hand on my chin, careful not to pour in too much in case I choked. I finished every last drop, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. I stared at my fingers, realizing I have full autonomy over my body again. Up. Okay. Good as new. Now, how are you feeling? Better, thank you. The stranger laughed. Oh, I like the way you sound. Been ages since I've talked to anyone, much less with a voice as nice as yours. I brushed off their strange compliment, finally looking around the cabin properly. It was a simple room filled with sparse but decorated wooden furniture fit for someone living alone. An open archway to the right led to what I assumed was the kitchen. Next to it, a door was closed shut. Possibly the bathroom? Taking it in, there was a common theme of knitted decoration strewn about. Any available surface had patterned knitted tablecloths covering it. An unfinished project laid beside the bedside table where I sat, a pair of knitting needles jutting out of the pile of yarn from a small basket. As far as I could tell, it looked like the beginners of a green scarf. The stranger was comfortable in staying silent, observing me as I glanced around. They tossed their hair. What? They tossed their hat onto the bed, scruffing their hair and making it even messier. With their hat off, their unique features were impossible to ignore. Sorry, but what are you? Oh, I didn't introduce myself, did I? Hiya, I'm Michael with a Y. That's a thing? Michael with a Y? No. I shook my head. No. Michael with a Y? No. I meant that. Michael stared at me, their left ear twitching. You look very... He snorted. Ugly? Blue tongue? Ugly? Off-putting? No! Just different. Different, huh? You're just being nice. Well, then explain yourself. I mean, it's kind of rude, isn't it? I paused for a moment before pinching my nosebrid, exhaling slowly. I'm just... sorry. It's been a long day is all. I should be thanking you. If it helps, it's, a skin condition. Is that what you humans call them? The way they said it didn't sound confident. And the ears? Genetics? Right. And I assume I wave vaguely at their horns. Antenna? Those things are just cosplay to complete the look. Would that make a convincing argument? I squinted. Maybe. Then yeah, it's cosplay. Still doesn't explain it. What? Still doesn't explain everything. Michael huffed a nervous laugh. Listen, I'm just a guy living by himself in the woods. You don't need to worry yourself further than that, okay? Something in his tone compelled you not to question his existence anymore. He's just some guy, living in the woods. Completely normal. Right. Completely normal. I'm Bunny. Michael beamed. Nice to meet you, Bunny. I fiddled with the blankets as Michael scooted closer from the edge of the bed. I know I already asked, but how are you feeling? Any aches, sores, nausea? Intrusive thoughts? Weird impulses? Fever, maybe. Whoa! He placed his hand on my forehead before I could react. His hands were calloused, quickly retracting as he gave a thoughtful hum. You seem to be lucid. That's a good sign. Great? He hummed absently, his twitching ear reminding me of a perturbed cat. Cat. My cat! Oh, shoot! Sorry if this is out of nowhere, but have you seen a cat around these parts? His name's Noah. He's a sweet little thing, about this big, skittish, but he can approach strangers if he needs to. I put on my phone to show pictures of him, only to find it's missing from my back pocket. Wait, where is... I haven't... Huh? Your cat. I haven't seen your cat. I haven't seen it. Oh, I see. I slumped against the pillows, rubbing at my temples. He lost his collar, too. Even if anyone finds him, they wouldn't be able to tell where he's from. Damn it. Michael stayed quiet, watching me from his side of the bed. You came all the way out here for a cat? Huh? Of course. To the point where you're willing to run yourself ragged this deep in the forest for a cat. Do you realize how far you wandered away from the nearest town? I found you near unconscious in an area nobody set foot in for years. For a cat. Dude, oh my god, if my cat, bro, first off, he wouldn't be going outside. Yeah. But he sounded like he was holding himself back from giving me a stern lecture, as if in disbelief I had such little regard to my own survival. Care? If I get scratched, as long as my cat don't get scratched, it's fine with me. My cheeks grew heated at how stupid reckless that sounds. I mean, he's not just a cat, he's my family. I know it was stupid for even trying, but I had to. Michael eased up, shoulders tense as he looked me over from underneath his unruly bangs. Family, huh? He finally tipped his head at me with a smile. You're willing to wander this far for such a small critter. I've met my fair share of lost campers, hunters, and a few runaway teens or two. But someone looking for their pet? You're kind of weird, aren't you? I sputtered, much to his amusement. Speak for yourself! Who cosplays in the middle of the woods? Michael laughed, a deep hearty one resonating from his chest. Fair. I think I'm starting to like you, Bunny. Likewise. Or likewise? I don't know. His smile widened, but something about it was off. He was showing too much teeth. Anyways, it felt like he hadn't talked to someone in a real long time and forgot how to smile the right amount. I rubbed my neck, trying to think of something else to say. Can I ask, how did I get here? Oh, like I said, I found you in the woods not far from here. Oh, jeez, really? I knew I was tired, but I couldn't have possibly. Huh? I did step in something. Something important. Familiar pinpricks crept up my skin. Home. I need to go home. Michael stiffened as he grabbed my shoulder. Never mind that. What? You'd fallen unconscious from a heat stroke. Heat stroke? No, that wasn't what happened. I wasn't. I was fine until... Michael shook his head insistently, leaning close. No, Firefly. You weren't fine at all. If I hadn't found you when I did, well, who knows what could have happened. You could have gotten injured or attacked by a wild animal. There's danger in these woods, you know. No, he's right. He was right. You have been so foolish. How did you think you could do this on your own? Searching for your cat in the middle of the woods? And to go in without bringing any water, passing out from heat stroke of all things. How could you have been so stupid? I shook my head, brain too foggy to pick apart my thoughts. He sounded confident, so why should you doubt him? That's the second time he did that. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Well, if it means anything, I'm glad you were there. Michael relaxed, hand on his lap once more. He grinned at me. So am I, Bunny. I'm definitely glad I found you. His eyes were hidden fully behind his unruly hair, but I couldn't help feeling how intensely they were fixated onto me as he said that. The hairs on the back of my neck stood. Sure. Without a distraction, I've only just realized how uncomfortable I was sitting still. The blanket on me was starting to itch, just as desperate need to go home began to rise in me again. This was interesting, but I should really get going now. Wait! My host jumped up from the bed before I could. I mean, I can't just let you wander around in the woods this late. Please, stay a bit longer. But Michael... come? He grabbed my hand and led me across the room. We stepped into the kitchen, a fragrant smell of cooked potatoes and meat hanging in the air. 2 plates had been... person. What? 2 plates had been set on the small circular table. Set out on the small circular table, complete with utensils and mugs of tea. I wasn't expecting guests today, so the food is nothing fancy, but join me for dinner? He's doing it again! He looked so hopeful, ears dropping. You'd feel so bad if you had to say no. Say yes. Michael's jaw dropped for a second before he quickly recovered. Yes, of course. Here, come on. Come sit. I'll serve up the cottage pie in a minute. I sat as instructed, my stomach rumbling something fierce as the smell was the only thing I could focus on. Yes, this was definitely the right choice. What was so important that you had to leave so soon? What? The outside world can wait. You could stay here and enjoy my company. Oh, actually, I should ask. Are you okay with meat for dinner? I can make something else else for you if that's not your preference. I'm okay with meat, I guess. Oh, okay. You'll be having the same dinner as me then. Michael pattered about the small kitchen with almost a giddy excitement. He put on a pair of knitted oven mitts, humming as he stooped down and pulled out a steaming tray of pie from the wood stove. The smell. It filled out the kitchen in an instant as he brought it to the table, my stomach rumbling louder in response. Wait, what? I'm pretty sure Michael could hear it, but he just smiled as he served up our portions. He discreetly cut me a bigger piece, which I was grateful for. You know, now that I think about it, I've never had shepherd's pie. I don't think I have. Can't remember. Anyways, it looks so good. The crust was nice golden color, streaked with crisp lines and garnish. The meat and veggies filling looked absolutely delectable, the savory sauce leaking onto the plate. My mouth was watering unsurprising considering the fact that I haven't eaten all day. Careful now, it's so hot. It was fair advice, but I didn't wait more than 2 blows before biting into my first forkful. Ah! It was definitely way too hot to eat straight from the oven. Michael kept a polite expression in the corner of his mouth lifting as I panted, with the pieces still in my mouth. He gave me a few seconds to recover, elbow planted on the table. Is it good? I nodded vigorously, even though my buds were burning. I couldn't taste anything. He laughed. It's usually better on the second bite. I slowed down, hand on my mouth as Michael porked his fork into his own slice. I tentatively blew on the pie to make sure it was cool before taking another bite. He was right. The second bite was a lot better. The seasoned potato crust was nice and crisp on top, cheesy and creamy in the middle. The savory meat filling was well cooked and bursting with flavor. This is making me hungry. Every bite felt like home. My host watched me enjoy the meal from across the table. Do you like it? Yeah, this tastes amazing, Michael. They turn blue. No, what? He flushed from the compliment, rubbing the back of his neck. I'm glad. I like to think of myself as a decent cook, but I've never been able to get anyone else's opinion on that. Do you like baking in particular? Not always. I usually go for simple meals with any ingredients available. Oh my god! I'm trying to take my time, okay? I nodded admirably, though didn't say much else. I was more focused on scarfing down dinner, which thankfully Michael didn't seem to mind. The overall atmosphere was nice and homely, and I could hear Michael tapping his foot from underneath the table. I guess he was that happy to have someone stay for dinner. It did seem like he lived alone, judging from the surroundings in his cabin. So I'm kind of curious. He perked up instantly, his focus solely on me. What made you want to live all the way out here? Oh, well, when you look at me, it's kind of easier just to live out of sight from everyone else. A pain of guilt shot through my chest. I was giving him a hard time about how he looked too. Wow. He must have sensed it, clear as day on my face. No, not that you're one of them. You've actually been nicer than most. Though I wonder if his smile turned strained. Never mind. My point is, it's better here than anywhere else. Why don't you try the tea, Firefly? Why do you keep... He seemed uncomfortable now, easing into a different topic. It's probably best to follow along. Oh, sure. I reached out toward my mug, only to push it off edge with my clumsy fingers. Wait! I bent over the side to grab it, fully expecting it to just fall out of reach and land on the floor into broken pieces. It never did. Yeah, I was kind of expecting like, you know, the usual. I hate that noise. It never did. What? What? Instead, what? A long green appendage was twisted around the ceramic mug, securely keeping it in place. Not even a drop had fallen out. My eyes trailed along the length of it until I pinpointed that it came from behind Michael, the rest of it partially hidden beneath his cardigan. Michael? Is that yours? Michael buried his face in his hands, the strange appendage from before lowering to his side, mug in tow. I'm sorry, Bunny. I think it's time I was honest. Oh! He lifted his head, fingers carding his hair back to reveal his eyes. I froze as no. Multiple pairs of irises stared right into mine before darting to the side and avoiding my gaze. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is who I really am. Please don't be scared. Remain calm. We're calm. I swallowed audibly, willing myself to not look away. He seemed to be holding his breath as I gripped the edge of the table. It felt unsettling every time he blinked, those eyes in succession, even when he wasn't looking at me. Was it real? It had to be. Everything about him suddenly made so much more sense. The isolation, the avoidant behavior. He looked freaky, yes, but he also looked sad. I swallowed thickly. I can't. How do you swallow thick? I swallowed thickly. I'm not scared. Oh, Michael's mini pupil blew wide, dilating like an excited wildcat. It sent a shiver up my spine. Okay, maybe just a little bit scared. Sorry. He hastily grabbed an empty plate and hid behind it, shoulders scrunched up despite his stature. Would it help if I just hide it? I could fix my hair like before, if that's what you prefer. His voice was muffled behind the ceramic barrier between us. It was kind of endearing. I slowly reached out to touch his hand, a slight brush of my fingertips making him jump in place. Michael? Yeah? Can you put that down? He slowly lowered the plate. His eyes were still darted to the side, avoiding me. Can you look at me? He turns blue! Don't look at me like that. Sorry, I just can't stop looking. This was so awkward. His hands were shaking. I looked down at the mug still floating next to him, hanging on for dear life. I reached over and plucked it straight out of his grasp. I tentatively took a sip, noticing how Michael was watching me over the rim of the mug. The taste was mildly spicy with an almost earthy bite to it. I recognized it instantly as ginger tea. If you ever... No, it has to be mixed with something else. I can't. It's almost room temp, but it's still pretty good. Huh? You wanted me to try the tea, right? I like it, so thank you. Oh, I'm glad. Michael relaxed back into his seat, following my lead as I picked up my fork once more. The silence didn't last long as Michael fidgeted. Are you really okay with this? With me? I gave him a once over, really taking in his features. It's very different than what I'm used to, but I think I can learn to like it. Is that weird to say? I mean, you're not bad to look at. It's actually kind of, damn it, what do I say? Cool. It's pretty cool. It's like something out of science fiction. Is that a good thing? Yeah. Oh. My point is, your appearance shouldn't matter. You've been nothing but kind to me so far. I'd be the worst kind of person to judge someone based on how they look. I haven't known you that long, but you seem like a good person. You're fine, Michael. I smiled at him. We're fine. I see. He fidgeted some more before nodding, smiling a bit. Thanks, Bunny. I'll share this moment forever. He beamed at me as he enthusiastically went back to eating his food. That was something. He continued with a bit of small talk, mostly stories about Noah or snippets from my personal life. Michael hung on to every word I said, not bothering to elaborate much about himself despite my burning curiosity. I could tell he was extremely insecure about his appearance, so it's probably best I keep my questions to myself for tonight. We cleared up the kitchen in relative silence, Michael storing away the rest of the pile as I washed the dishes by the sink. Being out here in the remote cabin, I wonder how he had running water. Maybe I'll ask him later. So, thanks for dinner. Thanks for the company. Oh, and please, take the bed tonight. What? But, you're my guest, and I'm the host. Take the bed, okay? Alright, I'll be out of your hair first thing in the morning. Michael got quiet, staring at the floorboards. With his hair out of the way, I could finally read his expressions. He did seem upset. Is that okay? I do need your help, though. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna get lost again on my own. His tail flicked behind him. Yeah, I'll bring you home tomorrow morning. I heaved a sigh of relief. Thanks, Michael. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah. Good night, Bunny. Good night, Michael. He seemed really happy to being able to say that. I plopped myself down onto Michael's bed, getting comfy beneath the blanket. Michael was gathering some blankets of his own to make a makeshift bed on the floor in front of the fire. He had an impressive collection of knitted items, a comfortable nest forming in the center of the room. My eyes trailed off after his tail, now out in the open as it flicked and swayed. Kinda like a cat. I miss Noah. Now with a full stomach, dozing off came easy. I didn't even realize how tired I was. I listened to the gentle crackling of the fire, my vision darkening. Oh! Bro! Good night, Bunny. Dude, that would have gave me such a jump scare. Oh, that's at 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave this right here. We have fallen asleep in Michael's home. We do not have our cat yet. But, yeah. If you like this, if you enjoyed Mushroom Oasis and would like to see the part 2, let me know in the comments down below. And I will continue it. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.